Bueno, acá estamos otra vez. Tuve que hacer de todo para que dejaran de joderme acá por esa estúpida demostración que tuve de hacerla a Rod con su mandoble. Por algún motivo cuando saqué el arma todos se pusieron agro, así que tuve que volver, noquear a todos y después de eso tuve que entrar acá y pagar la multa a Lee. Pero bueno, voy a tratar de hacer en orden como tiene que ser, tengo que hablar con todos. A ver, Rod, con este ya hablé. A ver, Gunnar, ¿qué tenés para decir? No, vos no, sos un granjero genérico. Vos.
Hey, you.
¿Qué pasa?
What's up?
Since Onar announced he was hiring mercenaries, the court's been overflowing with nothing but rogues. All the rabble who didn't have the guts to come out of the woods before are here now. The bastards really came from everywhere.
¿Los mercenarios vienen de todas partes?
The mercenaries came from everywhere?
Most of them came from the penal colony. Another group of mercenaries came from the south, where they were probably hunting orcs. I bet that a few of the bandits from the mountains have shown up as well by now to get a free meal. Huh.
Posiblemente. Bueno, nada. Simplemente me das un poco de exposición. No valía la pena hablar con vos. Elena. ¿Hablamos Elena antes o no? Hola, guapa.
Hello, pretty girl.
Just where did you escape from?
De la prisión minera también. Se dice que os habéis rebelado contra el rey.
They say you are revolting against the king.
My father has decided that it's time we defended ourselves. The militia never helped us anyway. They only came here to drag off our provisions.
Tu padre es Honor. ¿Qué clase de empleo ofrecéis en la granja?
What kind of work is to be had here on the farm?
My father pays money to all the men who help defend the farm. Are you interested? You don't look like someone who has a passion for field labor.
How much does your father pay?
You'd have to negotiate that with him. All I know is that each mercenary here gets paid every day.
¿Debo cumplir alguna norma?
Are there any rules here that I should stick to?
You don't touch anything here that isn't yours. You stay away from the areas that are none of your business. And if you must pick a fight, stick to the mercenaries. If you start a brawl with the farmers, everybody here will be against you.
Es que uno me robó todo el oro, el hijo de puta. ¿A qué te dedicas?
What's your job here?
I sell the goods that we produce. If you want to buy something, just let me know. But let me warn you, I won't stand for either haggling or stealing, understood?
Ay, qué fina. ¿Ha pasado algo importante últimamente?
Has anything significant happened lately?
A few days ago, my father decreed that we're no longer allowed to sell anything in town. So now I'm staying here on the farm and selling my wares to visitors only.
Ahora sé qué tenés.
Show me your wares.
What can I offer you?
Dame las manzanas. Y listo. Leche. Nah. Ah, cierto, tengo que hacer la misión del idiota ese del licor, pero todavía no sé muy bien qué tengo que hacer ahí.
I thought you were trying to pick a fight with me. Did you change your mind? You prefer talking, right?
¿Eh? ¿Todo bien?
Doing all right?
Hey, I know you. From the colony.
Ah, sí.
What do you want here?
¿Tienes algo para vender?
Do you have anything to sell?
Oh, don't ask. Bennett, one of the new guys, takes care of the weapons and armor now. In the colony, I was responsible for Lee's entire weapons store. And then along came a trained smith and pow,
La verdad no te
I'm out of
recuerdo.
a job. I desperately need a new job, even if all I do is guard the farms out there. I don't care, just as long as I'm not twiddling my thumbs here anymore.
¿Y has encontrado algo nuevo que hacer?
And? Found a new task yet?
Not so far. Let me know if you have a job for me.
¿Has probado buscar trabajo en la ciudad?
Have you tried finding a job in town?
In the city? Wild horses couldn't drag me there. Where do you think I would want to work there as a militia soldier? I could just imagine myself in the courtier's uniform. And then that obsession with obedience. Nah, forget it. There may not be anything to do here on the farm, but at least I can do what I want.
Son todos unos idiotas acá. ¿Y me puedes enseñar algo?
Can you teach me anything?
I can teach you a few tricks in handling a bow if you want. I don't have anything better to do right now anyway.
A ver.
That's all just gossip. I want to learn more about archery.
What should I teach you?
Nah. Prefiero aprender herrería, la verdad. Nos vemos. No me sos de utilidad vos tampoco. Creo que el herrero es... ¿Quién es el herrero? ¿Vos?
Hello, I'm new here.
Don't take this the wrong way, but I'm not really in the mood for conversation. I'm totally right.
Oh, por...
You're awfully busy, huh?
You can say that again. Bennett makes so many weapons that I can hardly keep up with the polishing.
Ok. ¿Y qué me puedes contar de la granja?
What can you tell me about the farm?
This is Onar's farm.
Oh,
That big building is his house. He vacated a wing for the mercenaries.
sí.
We farmers have had to bunk in the barn ever since. But it's all right with me. It's good that we have people.
¿Por qué
to
esas
guard the
pausas
farm.
largas cuando
The
hablas?
building here is the kitchen. Maybe you'll be lucky and Thekla will have something for you to eat.
Bien. ¿Y qué hay de los mercenarios?
What about the mercenaries?
Ugh.
Onar hired them to keep the city militia off our backs. But they also guard the farm, the sheep.
Esas
us
pausas
farmers.
de 2
They don't
segundos
even
son
think about stealing
innecesarias.
anything or rummaging around in somebody's chest. They're just waiting for a chance to knock you down.
Yo los voy a sacudir a todos. ¿Puedo comprarte armas a ti?
Can I buy weapons from you?
I don't have much. We take almost all the swords and axes into Onar's house.
Sí, tenés basura nada más. Ay, Dios, esta mierda es tan sensible. Vos sos el herrero, Bennett.
I do not sell any weapons. Khaled does. He's in the house with Onar.
No me importa. ¿Qué tipo de armas haces?
What kinds of weapons do you make?
Plain swords at the moment, not much else. But if I had some magic ore, I could forge weapons that are better than all comparable weapons made from regular old steel. You wouldn't happen to know where to find some around here. Besides, in the Valley of Mines, I mean.
No.
Of course not.
No. ¿Estás con los granjeros o con los mercenarios?
Are you with the farmers or the mercenaries?
You're pulling my leg, aren't you?
I was just curious.
Have you ever seen a farmer who also forges weapons?
No.
Then why do you ask such stupid questions? Of course we got it in the end.
¿Y qué hay de fabricar equipo?
What about forging equipment?
What do you need?
Martillo de herrero, cinturón de mercenario, junto con armadura de mercenario es más efectivo. Ay, Dios, esta mierda me está sacando de quicio. A ver, querido. Ahí. Quiero unirme a los mercenarios.
I want to join the mercenaries.
Stop blabbering then. Go to Torloff and let him put you to the test.
Nah. ¿Me puedes enseñar a forjar una espada?
Can you teach me how to forge a sword?
Sure. That'll cost you a bit, though. Let's say 30 gold pieces.
Tome, pobre hombre.
Fine. Here's 30 for you.
And that was a damn good price, too. We can start as soon as you're ready. I can't believe that.
Dale.
Teach me how to forge a sword.
It's quite simple. Get yourself a piece of raw steel and hold it in the fire until it glows. Then put it on the anvil and hammer the blade into shape. Most important, watch out that the blade doesn't get too cold. You only have a few minutes at a time to work on your weapon. The rest you can find out for yourself. It's merely a matter of practice.
Bien, eso es todo. Enséñame a forjar armas de mineral mágico.
Teach me how to forge magic ore weapons.
As long as you aren't one of us, I'll be damned if I tell you the secret of the magic ore weapons. Only very few blacksmiths know it at all, and I believe that not even the smiths in town know anything about it. And that's a good thing, too. Otherwise, those boozers of the city guard would all be wielding magic swords next.
Qué mal. Ok. Gracias de nada. A ver acá qué hay. Ese cofre está apetitoso. Jarvis.
Hey, don't I know you from somewhere?
Puede ser.
It's possible. I was in the colony too.
Right. What do you want?
Hablar. ¿Cómo van las cosas?
How's the situation?
Right now, we've got real trouble. Two factions are building up amongst us mercenaries. Silvio and his people doubt that Lee is following the right plan.
Ah. ¿Y cómo se han formado dos facciones?
How come there are two factions?
Most of us came out of the colony with Lee back then, but some of the mercenaries hooked up with us later. They didn't come from the colony, but were farther south fighting the orcs. Somehow they got wind that Lee needed people. Their leader was Silvio. He agreed that Lee was in charge, but now he's trying to stir up the mercenaries against him and his plan. A lot of Lee's people don't think that it's a big problem, but I know guys like Silvio. He'll go to extremes to realize his ideas.
¿Y sabes cuáles son las intenciones de Lee?
Do you know what Lee's intentions are?
Lee wants us to wait and starve the paladins in the city. He is planning to get us all away from the island, and Enos knows I've got nothing against getting away from here. I don't really know how he's planning to go about it, but I trust him. He's led us well so far.
Creo que Silvio es el menos malo. ¿Sabes qué es lo que está haciendo Silvio?
Do you know what Silvio is planning?
Silvio found out that some of the paladins have moved out to the old colony. He says the rest of the paladins wouldn't dare to attack us here, and wants to take advantage of the situation. Plunder the small farms, waylay the militia patrols outside the city, hold up travelers, things like that. But Lee thinks that would be the worst thing we could do in our situation.
Sí, Lee. Quiero ser un mercenario.
I want to become a mercenary.
I'm not sure that's a good idea.
Where's the problem?
Well, I either have to vote for you or against you. And in the situation we're in, I'll only vote for you if I can be sure that you're on Lee's side.
Ja. ¿Y qué debería hacer?
So what should I do?
Simple. Beat up a few of Silvio's boys. That way both sides will know exactly where you stand. And if you stick to the rules for a duel, you'll even win the respect of the others.
¿Y cuáles son las reglas?
What are the rules for a duel?
Go to Torloff and let him explain it if you're interested.
Ugh.
Just so we understand each other. I don't care if you stick to the rules or not, just as long as the boys wind up out cold in the mud.
¿Cuáles son los hombres de Silvio?
Which of the mercenaries are Silvio's men?
There are 6 men. First of all, Silvio himself and his right-hand man, Bulko. Then there's Rod, Sentenza, Fester, and Raoul. The rest of the people are either neutral or on Lee's side.
¿Y a cuántos de los hombres de Silvio tengo que derrotar?
How many of Silvio's people should I defeat?
If you knock 3 of them to the ground, then you've proven which side you're on. Whom you choose
Creo que ya no
is
queda
your
dos
business.
de ellos.
Just one little hint. This isn't about proving your courage. Don't go up against Silvio himself. He'll make
Yo voy
millions.
contra quien quiero, idiota. Habrá, tenías algo más que decir. ¿Cuántos de los hombres de Silvio están en mi lista?
How many of Silvio's men are still on my list? Fester tried to take me for a ride. That was his mistake. I went to see Raoul.
And?
He was badly in need of a proper licking.
Good. Keep it up. I expect you to rough up at least 3 of them.
Uno más. Me falta uno. Mercenario. Granjero. Ah, estos son los granjeros que tuve que noquear. Por eso se me quedan mirando así. Porque estos idiotas venían al ataque inmediatamente. Tecla. Necesito algún lugar donde dormir. Ah, todavía no. Ya sé dónde puedo dormir. Supongo que este es... A ver... Estos tipos... que tienen mucho rango normalmente te atacan sin motivo.
It's come to my attention that you have it in for my boys.
¿Y qué?
As far as I know, you're one of Lee's protégés.
¿Y qué?
I'm warning you. A few things are going to be different around here soon, and we'll talk about this again then.
We need to talk, you and I.
What do you want?
I think the best thing would be if you didn't show your face on the farm anymore.
Ah,
See to it that you're gone by tomorrow. We understand each other.
no, no nos entendemos. Vení que te voy a dar una paliza, idiota. No me voy a ir de aquí.
I'm not going to leave here.
I guess we're gonna have to discuss this again.
¿Sí?
Will you put away that damn weapon?
¡Oh! Ok, Vulco lo subestimé, así que mejor voy a ir a pelear con otro. Creo que sería mejor pelear con Rod, Stewart.
You again? Trying to pick another fight with me, are you?
Parece que tengo que enseñarte modales, ¿no?
Looks like I'll have to teach you some manners, doesn't it?
You're just not gonna learn this.
No nos peleamos nosotros. ¿O sí? No recuerdo. Uf.
Now for the fun part.
Hit
Don't stop
him.
now.
Bien. Me quedo con el mandoble. Y me quedo con tus cosas.
Nothing to be had there.
Sacaste bastante, ¿eh? Maldito seas. Levántate, idiota. ¿Te gustó?
Don't you try that again. All right, you win. What do you want?
Me quedé con tu mandoble. Toma tu espada.
Here's your sword back.
High time, too.
Y listo. A ver, el idiota este. Si está convencido de mi valía. Jarvis.
How many of Silvio's men are still on my list? Rod looks a little worse for the wear. Fester tried to take me for a ride. I went to see,
And
he was badly.
that's enough. That's enough. I'm impressed. If Lee asks me, I can vote for you with
¿Cuántos votos más necesito? Bien. ¿Alguien más saca de interés? Parece que no. Cypher. Esto me suena.
Hey, you!
¿Qué pasa?
How are things?
Hey, don't I know you from somewhere?
Posiblemente.
It's possible.
I used to deal in swamp weed back in the colony. Remember?
Sí, me acuerdo de esa misión de mierda. ¿Y con quién tratas ahora?
And what are you dealing in now?
Ah, don't ask. I brought a whole package of swamp weed with me from the mining colony. Many of the mercenaries like a little smoke now and then. I've earned a small fortune on the side. But some bastard stole all the weed from my chest.
Posiblemente fui yo.
I'm sure it was that Bodo. He bunks in the same room as me, and he always grins at me like such an idiot.
Entonces, ¿qué vas a hacer con el ladrón?
What are you going to do about the thief then?
One of these days, I'll catch him puffing away on my weed. And then, I'll find a quiet spot and teach him a lesson he won't forget. If I knock him down here in the middle of the yard, the other farmers will notice, and I'll pay an arm and a leg.
How come?
Quite simple. We can't rough up the farmers, otherwise Lee makes us pay a heavy fine.
Sí, 250 monedas.
O&R wants it. And the more witnesses there are, the more of a fuss there is. That makes things more expensive. So I'll pull the thing off nice and inconspicuously.
¿Este paquete de hierba no será tuyo?
Would this package of swamp weed happen to be yours?
Well, I'll be... Where'd you get that?
It's a long story.
Doesn't matter. Really, you're a decent guy. Here, take this as a reward. Have fun with it.
¿Qué me dices?
First, let me roll a few.
Me quiero unir a la gente de Lee.
I want to join Lee's people.
Lee's people? If Lee keeps on this way, they soon won't be his anymore.
Why?
Lee has always been a quiet one. It was that way in the colony, too. But lately, he's overdoing it. He just wants to sit here and wait until the paladins drop dead from starvation.
Está
Silvio
loquito.
thinks we should clean up a bit on the small farms and outside the city. I think that would make for an excellent change. At the moment, most of us are just twiddling our thumbs here. Do you want to join up anyway?
Supongo. Quiero ser uno de vosotros y no me importa cómo.
I want to become one of you no matter what.
You already know that we take a vote on every new recruit.
What are you hinting at?
Well, I haven't had any to smoke in a long time. Bring me a few swamp weed reefers and you got my vote.
¿Cuántos?
You can surely scare some up someplace.
Tengo un montón. Acerca de la hierba.
About the swamp weed.
You brought back my packet. Now everything will be all right. I'm certainly gonna vote for you.
Bien. Bien. Bobo,
Hey.
hablemos. ¿Qué tal todo?
How's it going?
The militia has bullied us long enough. Now that the mercenaries are on our side, they won't dare to just show up here anymore. The king may think he can get away with anything, but we're not going to take it anymore.
En la ciudad se habla de una rebelión de los campesinos.
In town, they're talking about a peasants' revolt.
Nonsense. We aren't doing anything except defending what we've worked hard for. It's certainly true that the war is being fought on the backs of the peasants. But Onar is no longer prepared to just stand by and watch while the king bleeds us dry.
Bueno. A ver este Tarlaf. ¿Cuáles son las reglas de los duelos?
What are the rules for a duel?
Quite simple. Both opponents have to have the opportunity to draw their weapons before the first blow. You can't just go and belt one of the men without warning. There has to be some sort of spoken challenge, an insult, or another reason to fight. None of the other men will interfere in a fight like that, unless one of the two gets killed in the duel.
¿Me puedes ayudar a mejorar mis características?
Can you help me improve my abilities?
I could show you how to use your strength better in close combat. A lot of fighters are very weak because they don't have the technique to use their strength properly. The same is true for dexterity and ranged weapons.
Nobody will learn anything from me.
Ok. A ver qué más tenemos por acá. Y eso. Dar. ¿Qué estás fumando?
What are you smoking there?
Want a toke?
Dale.
Sure.
Jejeje. La cabeza, macho.
Where did you get the
Carajo.
stuff?
Mierda está pasando.
I have my sources.
¿Haces algo aparte de fumar?
Do you do anything besides smoke?
Not at the moment.
Quiero unirme a los mercenarios, ¿te importa?
I want to join the mercenaries. Do you mind?
Who cares?
Bien. Eso fue fácil. Jeje. Ese fue el efecto de que la capilla de Talos. Bandeja de oro, ¿eh? Pip. 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 Nadie se dio cuenta de nada. Y ese no se va a dar cuenta, está tan volado que... ¿Qué carajo le importa que esté robando cosas acá? Listo. Suficiente. ¡Uy! ¡Ta madre! Bueno, creo que lo que voy a tratar de hacer en cuanto termine de hablar con todo el mundo acá es liberar ese puente de todos los bandidos que hay por ahí. A ver si puedo, lo que voy a tener que hacer es atraerlos, separarlos todo lo que pueda e ir matándolos de a uno. El problema es que hay un arquerito ahí. Y está bastante OP. Así que... voy a ver cómo hago para ingeniármelas. Va a ser complicado. Pero no es imposible. Ya estamos muy metidos en esto para tirarnos atrás. ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué te concentras en mí? ¿Qué pasa? Khaled. ¿Todo bien?
Everything fine with you?
If it's something important, go talk to Lee. Otherwise, leave me alone.
¿Vos también estabas en la prisión? Lee. Para Lee, por si me querés atacar o algo. Aquí te parió, capaz no te acordás de mí. Ok, eso funciona bien. Antes de hablar con el jefe, hablemos con sus súbditos. ¿Hay alguien acá? ¿Escondido? No. Vamos a ver en el segundo piso. El granjero. No me digas vos sos Honor. Wasili. Ah, bueno, eso
Don't
suena.
even think about touching anything here. Otherwise, you'll get a couple upside the head, got it?
¿A qué te dedicas?
What's your job?
Onar wants me to spend all day keeping an eye on his stuff. He's worried that something will go missing, and I would too in his place. Most of the mercenaries he's hired are former convicts from the penal colony. They'll walk off with everything that isn't nailed down if no one watches out.
En eso no te equivocas. Aquí hay un montón de trastos.
There's a whole bunch of junk here.
That's right, and most of it is extremely valuable. Onar collects valuable objects. A simple man like me can hardly afford such luxury. I stick to other things.
And that would be?
I collect old coins.
Ah, tengo algunas de esas. ¿Ha intentado alguien robar algo?
Has anyone tried to steal anything yet?
A few, and I caught them all.
Ni siquiera tenés arma. Tengo una moneda antigua.
I've got an old coin here.
Show me. Oh yeah? That won't bring much on the open market. I'll pay you a gold piece for it. Exactly as much as it used to be worth.
Sos un sorete. No es suficiente. ¿Y dos?
Not quite enough. What about 2?
Nothing doing. I'm not a loony. Beat it.
Viste ahí. Ese sonar. Esta es una doncella genérica. A ver qué pasa si me pongo a hablar ahí con este. Con Sekop no salió nada bien la cosa. Correte, granjero. Déjame hablar con el gran jefe.
Who let you in here? What are you doing here on my farm?
¿Qué carajo te importa? ¿Todo bien en la granja?
Everything all right here on the farm?
I don't see how that's any of your business. You don't belong on the farm.
Tenés la misma voz que Sardas. He oído que os habéis rebelado contra la ciudad.
You're revolting against the city, or so I've heard.
Now listen up. I inherited this farm and this land from my father. And he inherited it from his father. I'm not going to allow that greedy imbecile of a king to make off with all that just in order to feed his useless armies. The war with the orcs has been going on forever. And where do we stand? On the edge of defeat. No, I prefer to defend my farm myself.
No te veo la cara por el
The money
sillón.
that I save this way could pay for my own army.
Y quiero trabajar para vos.
I want to work for you.
I don't need a farmhand right now. My people see to everything else. You have no business here in the house, so get out.
Qué amable. Quiero comprar una oveja, qué sé yo.
I want to buy a sheep.
What are you doing here then? See a sheep anywhere? If you want to buy a sheep, go out to the pasture. It's to the right of my house. Have Pepe sell you one.
Pepe. Ok. Quiero trabajar como mercenario.
I want to work here as a mercenary.
You? A mercenary? Don't make me laugh. If you were any good as a mercenary, Lee would have told me about you. Now get yourself out of here, pronto.
¿Sabe qué? Me voy a unir a los milicianos. Todos ustedes son unos idiotas. Y voy a volver acá cuando sea miliciano y los voy a matar a todos, imbéciles. No, en el segundo piso, ¿qué carajo tenemos? Ya me cansé de la hostilidad de toda esta gentuza. Me tratan para el culo y no saben quién carajo soy o dónde carajo vengo. Idiotas. Osadía. Pronto voy a ser tan poderoso como un puto semidios y me voy a acordar de todos ustedes, idiotas. Créanlo. Tiemblen. Duerman intranquilos. Sientan como las paredes se van achicando sobre sus malditas cabezas. Bueno, voy a hablar con el imbécil ese. Igual quiero ganar la experiencia de las misiones de estos idiotas, así que hablé. ¿Qué es lo que estás haciendo aquí?
What exactly are you doing here?
Quite simple. I'm gonna see to it that we all get off this island. Onar hired us to defend his farm, and that's exactly what we're gonna do. But our reward is more than just our pay. By helping the farmers, we cut the city off from its provisions.
Eso es muy de sorete, ¿sabes? Van a morir muchos. No son todos paladines en la ciudad, pelotudo.
What is your offer going to look like?
Essentially, it will be about our pardons and free passage to the mainland. You'll learn more when the time comes.
Gorn te habló de mí, ¿qué le ha pasado? Te habló de mí, ¿qué le ha pasado?
Gorn told you about me? What happened to him?
You remember him, don't you?
Sí, era un idiota.
Sure.
He got caught by the Paladins and was sent back to the Valley of Mines with a penal convoy. If the road to the Valley of Mines wasn't plastered with Paladins and Orcs, I'd have sent a couple of the boys already to free him. But the way things are, there's no point. Poor devil.
Es fundamental que hable con los paladines de la ciudad.
I absolutely must talk to the paladins in town. Can you help me get to them?
What's your business with the Paladins?
That's a long story.
I've got time.
Zardoz sent me on a mission. He wants me to obtain a powerful amulet, the Eye of Innos.
So you're still allied to that necromancer. I see. And the Paladins have this amulet?
As far as I know, yes.
I can help you get to the Paladins, but first you need to become one of us.
¿Y cómo lo harás?
How can you help me get to the Paladins?
Trust me, I've got a plan. I think you're the right man for it. I'll take you to the Paladins, and you'll do me a favor. But first, join us.
Ay, ¿cómo me uno?
I want to join you.
I'd hope you say that. I can use every able man here. The last mercenaries I accepted have done nothing but stir up trouble. In principle, you can start right away. Well, first there's one or two things we need to get straight, but it's no big deal.
¿Y cómo puedo convencer a los mercenarios de que me voten?
How can I convince the mercenaries to vote me in?
By doing what is expected of you as a mercenary, I should say. Talk to Torloff. He's usually outside in front of the house. He'll put you to the test. If you can pass that, you should have earned a large part of the necessary respect. He'll tell you everything else you need to know.
¿Qué sabes sobre el anillo de agua?
What do you know about the Ring of Water?
I might have known. You just have to mingle in everything, don't you?
¿Sos miembro?
Come on, tell me.
I'm only marginally involved in this. I know that this secret guild exists here and that the water mages are behind it. Since the fall of the barrier, I am no longer bound to the agreement I came to with the water mages back then. Of course, I still help when I can, but most of the time, I have my own problems and barely any time for other things. If you want to know more about it, you should probably talk to Kors. He's one of them, as far as I know.
¿De qué tengo que encargarme antes de que pueda unirme?
What do I have to get straight before I can join you?
Onar, the landowner, is the one who employs us. You can only stay on the farm with his approval. And then there's the boys. I can only accept you if a majority of the mercenaries agree that you join us. But don't go to Onar before everything is straightened out. He's a very impatient fellow.
Ok. Voy a hablar con el tipo ese. ¡Ay! ¡Ta madre! ¿Qué carajo me vas a hacer pelado? Bueno, no sos pelado. De lejos parece pelado. Háblame. Ponme a prueba.
Put me to the test.
Did Lee send you to me?
He said you would help me.
Fine. So here we go. There are two things you have to do before you can join us. First, you have to prove that you're capable of mastering the tasks that you will have to fulfill as a mercenary. I'll put you to the test. And second, you have to earn the respect of the other mercenaries.
¿Y cómo me puedo ganar el respeto?
Well, how can I earn the respect of the other mercenaries?
For most of them, it'll be enough if you fulfill your task and pass my test. Or you'll have to find some other way of convincing some of them. Some will try and exploit your situation, and others may not like your mug. You should try to get along with as many of the boys as possible. But if nothing else helps, then you can always take part in a duel. If you win, you'll earn the respect of most of them. But watch out that you don't kill one of them by accident, because then you'll have a big problem.
¿Qué reputación? No. ¿Cuáles son mis deberes como mercenario?
What are my duties as a mercenary?
Onar hired us for two reasons. He wants us to keep the militia off his back, and he wants us to keep things in order on his farms. That includes collecting the rent when the small farmers won't pay. So, what'll it be?
Déjame ir a recoger la renta.
Let me collect the rent.
Good. Listen, the farmer Sekov hasn't paid his rent to Onar for weeks. Onar wants him to cough up 50 gold pieces. Any questions?
No.
Where is Sekov's farm?
In the north of the valley. Looking from here, that's to the right at the big crossroads. If you have problems, the farmers in the fields will help you find your way around the area.
Sí, ya sé dónde es. ¿Y vos qué? ¿Me vas a votar?
What about you? Will you vote me in?
If you can prove that you can fulfill the duties of a mercenary, yes.
Ok. Vamos a hablar con Sekov otra vez. Pero antes, a ver, ¿cómo dijo que se llama? Acorde. Es un miembro del anillo de agua. Pero no recuerdo haberlo cruzado. Capaz no está acá. A las afueras o en otra granja. Porque ahí dentro de la casa no lo vi. ¿Será este? Cord, sí. Hey, vos.
If you have a problem with wolves or field raiders, go talk to one of the younger mercenaries.
Vos también tenés la voz de
When
sardas.
the paladins show up here.
What?
Whenever one of you peasants comes to me, it's always about slaughtering innocent beasts.
I'm not a peasant.
Oh? What is it you want then?
Quiero ser un mercenario.
I want to become a mercenary.
You look more like someone who's been born to work in the field, boy. Can you wield a weapon then? So, how about one-handed weapons?
Seguro las uso mejor que vos.
And two-handed weapons then?
I can handle those.
Well, at least you're not a damn beginner. All right, I'm gonna vote you in.
Eso fue fácil.
Whatever else you need to know, you can learn from me.
He oído que perteneces al anillo de agua.
I've heard that you belong to the Ring of Water.
What rat has not been able to keep his big trap shut?
Lee told me about it.
Looks like I've got a deal with you now, doesn't it?
Sí.
All right. So what do you need?
Contame todo.
And be damn careful about what you tell me. For if I don't like what I hear, I just might skin you alive.
Podrías ayudarme a unirme a los mercenarios.
You could help me to get accepted by the mercenaries.
I can just see it now. Right, I'll try. What else?
Eso es todo.
That's all.
That shouldn't be too hard. And woe betide you if I hear that you can't keep your trap shut.
Pero no me dijiste nada del anillo de
I'm
agua,
only saying
idiota.
this once, understand?
Bueno. Se me iba a atacar. Bueno, acá que tenemos ovejas. Creo que nunca estuve por acá. ¿Qué hay de ese lado? Acá hay un granjero muy lejos. Pregunto qué mierda está haciendo. Pepe. Ah, este es el vendedor de ovejas, ok. ¿Qué mierda tenemos de ese lado? Ok. Ah, también ya encontré todas las plantas de Constantino. Sí, como pensaba era la raíz de dragón lo que me faltaba. Pero se la llevé. Lo hice detrás de cámara porque bueno, tenía que hacer todo ese recorrido otra vez. Iba a ser un dolor de huevos. Así que me ahorré ese viaje. Bueno, voy a hablar con Seco. A ver qué pasa. Y a ver si está dispuesto a pagarme 50 moneditas. Que no es mucho, la verdad que lo podría pagar yo, pero qué sé yo. Así son las cosas acá. ¿Y eso qué está haciendo? Este es Fester. ¿Sos vos? Sí, Fester. Todavía no encontré más tesoros tuyos. Vas a tener que esperar un rato. A ver qué onda. Bien, bien, bien. La verdad que no recordaba tan grande este mapa. O capaz es porque no encontré todavía piedras de teletransporte. Quizás no es tan grande, pero es un poco incómodo recorrerlo, y además la velocidad del chabón no es que sea... no sea muy rápido, no es muy rápido que digamos. Entonces quizás por eso me da la impresión de que es más grande de lo que parece. No, vamos a borrarlo, antes ya me fue mal la última vez que hablé con este idiota.
What are you doing on my land? There's nothing here to steal. Clear off.
Isn't there a piece of land in this blasted country that doesn't belong to anyone?
Go to work. Then maybe someday you can call a piece of land your own. But until then, kindly loaf around somewhere else.
Onar quiere que pagues la renta de una vez.
This land belongs to the big farmer. You're only the tenant here. Onar wants you to pay your rent at last. You're several weeks behind.
What? And he sent a villain like you? Not even you believe that. Get out of here before I forget myself.
Se lo voy a tener que contar a Onar.
I guess I'll have to tell Onar about this then.
I don't care. You can tell Onar I don't have anything. That's the sad truth.
Suelta la pasta o te parto la cara.
Fork over the dough or I'll bash in your teeth.
You're not going after my purse, you criminal, not you.
Uy. Mierda. Tu mujer está media loca. Ah, ahora sí caíste de una. El cofre. No. Después lo abro. A ver, ahora te voy a meter adentro de ese cofre seco. ¿Qué te parece?
We'll see about that.
Wait a minute.
All right, you win. What do you want?
¿Dónde tienes el dinero?
Where do you have the money?
Don't hit me again, please. I'll do whatever you say.
We'll pay your rent then.
But sir, I don't have anything. I'm just a poor wretch and half-starved. My last harvest dried up completely. I want to pay my rent, but I just don't have anything. Have pity.
Muy bien, hablaré con Onar.
All right, I'll talk to Onar.
Thank you, sir. Thank you 1,000 times.
Esta vez no te metiste, ¿eh? Menos mal. No es que ahora tengo que volver ahí otra vez. Que te parió. De eso estoy hablando. Necesito el teletransporte urgentemente. Pero no los habilitan hasta más adelantado el juego, creo. Eso era en el 3. Mierda, si no hay piedra de teletransporte en este juego, esto va a ser muy incómodo. ¿Esto qué? ¿Bandido? Yo no maté bandidos por acá. ¿O sí? No recuerdo haber visto ninguno. Igual creo que agarré como 60 de oro, así que la renta la tengo. Hay que ver si me lo aceptan o no. Acuérdate, que me quiere partir el palo en la cabeza de otra. Otro puto día de lluvia. Qué bien. Bueno, ya cumplí mi labor de mercenario. Dame la experiencia. Recoge la renta de Sekop, ¿qué?
I collected the rent from Sekop.
And? Did he pay willingly?
I had to convince him first.
Well done, you passed your test. That'll convince a lot of the mercenaries that you have what it takes.
¿Y qué reputación tengo?
How's my reputation among the mercenaries?
Let's see. Wolf says he has nothing against you joining. Jarvis thinks you're on the right side. The court thinks you'd be good enough to join. Cypher says that for him it was crystal clear that you'd get to join. Something seems to have made him really happy. You seem to have convinced Rod that you're strong enough. Sentenza will vote for you. He says you were a very reasonable man.
Razonable.
I don't need to say anything about Silvio and Volko. Those two morons are against everyone. Buster says you're okay. The rest of the mercenaries haven't said anything. You convinced most of them by passing the test. Although a lot of them say that getting a farmer to pay his rent was too easy for a test. You have my vote in any case. And you won some fair duels. A lot of mercenaries respect that. Most of the mercenaries are for you. As far as we're concerned, you can start with us at any time.
Qué bien.
Go to Lee. He'll explain everything else to you.
Pero antes voy a ir a molestar a Onar. Que no vaya a hablar con él personalmente. Voy a hablar con él todo lo que se me antoje. Hablemos, viejo sorete. He venido por el asunto de la renta de Sekop.
I've come about Sekop's rent.
How the devil would that be your business?
I want to become a mercenary. Collecting the rent is my test. But Sekop has no money. I even beat him up. He said it was because of the poor harvest.
You nitwit! Do you think he just carries that money around? He's hidden it somewhere. Do you know how much rain we have here? Bad harvest my ass. Go and beat that money out of him.
No, y otra vez tengo que ir. Me caen muy mal todos. A ver. ¿Qué pasa si te hablo un par de líneas de diálogo más, Lee? ¿Me das más experiencia o me vas a hacer unirme sí o sí? No. Directamente es para unirme, así que mejor no. Primero quiero ver qué tienen para ofrecer los otros. No estoy convencido aún. La verdad es que me caen todos mal. Pero supongo que ya hice la mayoría de las misiones que tienen para ofrecer. Y esa era mi intención. Creo que por este lado está el tipo ese de Dexter. ¿Qué podría ser? Lo tengo más cerca. A ver, pero seguramente son un montón. Y no sé si voy a estar a la altura. Ya veremos. Ay. No puedo usar esas fogatas para calentar comida, que mal. Bueno, viejo, me habías dicho que estaban por acá los tipos estos malos, pero... ¿por dónde? No, voy por acá. Vamos a probar por este lado. Si no los encuentro, voy a suponer que me estabas mintiendo y eso me va a enojar mucho. Estoy buscando a Dexter, ¿alguien lo vio? Por acá no creo que sea acá hasta la granja. Para mí que está en la torre esa de... Vamos a ver. Tus putos bandidos, Dexter. El tráfico humano debe terminar ahora mismo. Y yo le voy a poner fin. ¡Hoy! Uy, sí, está lleno de bandidos. Ay. Hola. No me atacan.
Halt! You can't go through here.
¿Por qué?
I want to talk to your leader.
Oh, I see. You want to talk to my boss. Well, then of course I'll let you through. But only if you know his name. Because if you don't, I'll be obliged to kill you. Well?
Dexter.
Dexter.
Well, I guess you know the boss. Okay, I'll let you through. But I'm warning you, you get too close to anybody, you won't get out of here alive. So take a deep breath and leave your weapons where they are. You'll find Dexter in the house.
No me digas qué hacer, idiota. Voy a borrarlo otra vez. Las cosas se van a poner feas acá. Mira cómo me acerco. Dexter. Diego. No sé si se parece a Diego. Saben que están muy cerca de la granja de Donar. ¿Dónde está Dexter? ¿Está acá? Sí. Está acá. Todavía está con el uniforme de... ¿Cómo mierda se llama? El campamento viejo. Está nostálgico, quiere volver ahí. ¿Qué tenemos aquí? Ok, me voy. Esos bichos de mierda son duros. No me presten atención. Jeje. A ver, Dexter. No me acuerdo de vos tampoco. Pero supongo que eras malo. Si estás haciendo estas cosas, no puede ser bueno. Voy a ir a revisar un poco tu... ¡Ay, maldito!
Who's here? The great emancipator. Well, hero, what are you doing here?
I'm looking for a few answers.
I never thought you'd come here voluntarily.
What do you mean by that?
I mean that I've been looking for you. Haven't you seen any of my wanted posters?
Ah, sí.
They all bear your mug. Oh, yes. You're very much wanted. Didn't you know that?
No.
So, what do you want from me?
Me? Nothing whatsoever. But my boss is hell-bent on
¿Quién es tu jefe?
something dead. So he wants me to find you and bring him your head.
Dicen que estás secuestrando gente de Corinis.
They say that you're kidnapping people from Corinus.
So you found that out too. Good work, Buster. And here I was thinking I had covered my tracks.
No lo hiciste muy bien, que digamos. ¿Quién te dio la orden?
Who gave you this order?
My boss. He's a dangerous man. You know him. Raven, one of the former ore barons from the old camp in the Valley of Mines.
No me acuerdo.
He needs those people to fulfill his plans, and that's all you need to know.
¿Qué ha pasado con la gente?
Where did those people disappear to? Maybe down the mines somewhere here?
They're far away in the northeast by now, where you can't get to them. I could show you where exactly, but I don't know why I would want to do that.
Raven peligroso, en fin.
Raven? Dangerous? Oh well.
What do you know? You don't know him like I do. He was a miserable swine even back then, but these days, he has changed since the fall of the barrier. There's a black shadow across his face. His fierce glance will pierce you like the claws of a raptor, if you look into his eyes for too long.
Lo que digas.
My only advice to you is, leave Corinus as fast as you can, before it's
Pero no
too
se
late.
supone que me vas a
There's nothing
matar.
here for you, except for certain death.
No me creo ni una palabra.
I don't believe a word you're saying.
Hey, it's true. I swear on my mother's
Esta
grave.
conversación no tiene sentido. Está ese tipo con parche, anda buscándote.
There's this fellow with an eye patch. He's looking for you.
Everybody's looking for me. I couldn't care less. If that guy has some business with me, let him come here.
¿Y qué vas a hacer?
And what do you intend to do now? Kill me?
Yeah, but you set us all free. That's why I'm giving you another chance. Beat it. Disappear. Make yourself invisible. Go and don't cross my path again.
I need to know where you brought those people.
Well, you could try beating it out of me. It's better for you if you leave now. If I see you around here again, I won't hesitate to kill you.
Entonces, creo que ya sé lo que voy a hacer. Voy a decirle al pirata que Dexter está acá y capaz se me une en la misión y esto puede ser considerablemente más fácil. Quizás. Vamos a buscarlo. Uno. ¡Uy, mierda! No creo que pueda solo contra todos estos. Las peleas en grupo en este juego son un poco complicadas. Pero con un poco de suerte, con uno más de mi lado, esto no va a ser tan problemático. Ok, ¿dónde mierda estaba la salida acá? Por ahí se va la granja. Por acá es más corto. Así que Dexter está totalmente loquito. Y otro personaje del Gothic II. No se cambió la ropa. ¿Cuánto tiempo pasó desde los eventos del Gothic I? ¿Meses? Que ya de noche, playa. Bueno, hago eso y lo corto entonces. ¿Dónde mierda estás, pirata? Cuando te necesito. Es tu momento para brillar. ¿Dónde carajo está el pelotudo? Ah, por acá. Ah, acá está. Ya encontré a tu amigo. ¡Ah, dale! ¿No me vas a ayudar? Es un imbécil. No, entonces voy a hacer otra cosa. Necesito un poco más de experiencia. Por lo menos voy a tratar de subir 2 niveles, porque contra todos esos yo solo no voy a poder. Lo que voy a hacer, voy a tratar de pelear contra esos bandidos que están en el puente. Yo creo que son menos. Sí, son bastante menos de los que están ahí en el campamento de Dexter. Y si subo nivel me subo unos cuantos puntos de fuerza y ahí sí voy a tratar de matarlo. Pero de momento no me tengo fe. No creo que pueda. Son muchos. Probablemente se van a poner todos agro instantáneamente. Van a entrar todos. Es un lugar medio cerrado. Hay que pensar en todas las posibilidades. Y nuestras posibilidades de salir de ahí con vida son casi nulas. A menos que trate de hacer a lo Dark Souls y trate de hacerlos caer a todos por algún barranco o algo. Ganar experiencia fácil, pero no creo que pueda hacer eso. En fin. De mierda. El puente. Está por acá, ¿no? Ya voy a recuperar tus cosas, viejo, no te desesperes. Todo lo bueno se hace esperar. Las tablillas de piedra también. Y trabajo mejor de noche. O sea, el tipo me amenaza con cortarme la cabeza. Me cuenta toda la historia de Raven con su mirada intimidante. Y después me deja ir como si nada. Qué cosa más rara. Yo pensé que me iba a atacar ahí mismo, pero no. Se quedó sentadito. Personajes de este juego están locos. Prácticamente todos. A ver, ¿cómo vamos a hacer esto, hombrecito? ¿Cómo mierda vamos a hacer esto? Son como 5 o 6 los que están ahí. ¿Cuál es la mejor manera? Ay. Vamos a traerlos. Creo que ahí me vieron. No, no me vieron todavía. Ahí me vieron. Ay, corre. Ay. Uy, mira todas las flechas. Ay, flechas. Ay, vengan. Vengan. Sí, cállate por el barranco. Uy, mierda. 2. ¡Ah! Che, este es duro. Mierda. Ok, vamos bien, pero tómate una poción. Ok, ya cuántos matamos acá. 2. ¿Qué armas tenías? Espadita y estoque de bandido. Después lo vendo. Ya maté a 4. Y creo que había uno con arco ahí. Ahora démosle 2. Y a ver cómo mierda hago para... Ah, no, queda otra. Vení. Adiós. Buen viaje. ¿Y tu espada? Ahí está. Que va a ser un problema ese arquero. A ver. ¿Dónde estás, idiota? No, no, no. Muy rápido. ¡Ah! Toma. Ahora lo que me sacaste, increíble. Agarra todo. Y volvamos con el viejo ese. Pero no haya ninguno más. Estoque de bandido. Decime que está abierta. No. Después vuelvo. Esos eran todos. ¿No? ¿O se cayó alguno por ahí abajo? Alguno de estos idiotas tratando de pasar por encima de esa roca. Seguramente alguno se cayó. Y probablemente sobrevivió a la caída. ¿Por qué carajo no? Randall se va a levantar a la mañana y va a decir: ¿esto qué carajo? Hay como 4 cuerpos muertos ahí de bandidos. ¿Qué pasó aquí? Esta es la salida. Ya recuperé las tablillas de piedra de Erol. Tenemos 2 pájaros de un tiro. Y esta vez hubo combate. Acción intensa, no fue todo conversación. Como suelo hacer siempre en mis videos. Menos diplomacia. No, Erol, ¿dónde mierda te fuiste? Ah. Ya tengo tus estúpidas tablillas. Esta vez sí. Son las tuyas, tienen tu nombre. Sobre las tablillas.
About those stone tablets. I've got some.
Yep.
Thank you. That's enough. Now I could keep my promise to the water mage in town and then go home at last. I'll pay you for them, of course.
Dale.
I'm going home now. Come with me if you like.
¿Dónde queda tu
I
casa?
can sell you a few things that might interest you when we get there.
Ya veremos.